Hey everyone, welcome to Monday evening. We're online. I'm trying to bring the comments up here. Just want to say good Monday evening to everyone. This is Linda Jo White here, and just stopping by to ask a question based on a movie that I watched yesterday. Movie is called Six Underground, and I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but it's a pretty cool movie. And I realized after watching the movie and then today some of the things that are going through my head that I need to watch it again, like at least 7 times. I learned from my mentor that if you hear something 7 times, you're like in the 80% more likely to remember what it is that you heard. So this movie, Six Underground, directed by Michael Bay and stars Ryan Reynolds. And the question from the movie tonight is, what change could you bring to the world if you were a billionaire? What change could you bring to the world if you were a billionaire? So for those of you who haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically what it is this guy's got an idea as a young person. Now, I was going to do this. I was by our local elementary because it took me all the way back to when I was a child. And this movie addresses that. It's so cool. It's like he knew when he was in school, when he was a young boy, that he had a gift and that he was going to do some things, right? I did too, right? Only I let humans, well-intentioned humans, and the world systems talk me out of the thing I was created to be. I say this all the time. You're an eagle. You are born to be an eagle. But society, or I should say it's like this. It's like you're born to be an eagle, but society forces you to function like a fish. Right? Well, eventually you take the bird, hold it underwater long enough, it's going to kill you. It's going to kill the bird. Now, if you're a fish, being in the water is ideal. And the last place you want the fish to be is in the air and in an eagle's nest, because it's going to end up being food for the eagles, right? So the key to life is not graduating from high school and going to college and becoming what all of your girlfriends and your guys, boys are doing. No, the key is to identify who you are, what your gifts, what your passions, what do you see, and then refine those things. Because the law of God says, this is so cool. I love that the law of God is the law of God. It says that your gift will make a way for you in this world and bring you before great men and kings. So this is so cool. So I was going to go to the elementary school by my house, but the internet wouldn't work. And I was standing out there for like 20 minutes trying to figure this out, and it wasn't happening, right? So I'm like, okay, Lord, where are you going to direct me to? And interestingly enough, he directed me to a cemetery. I love this. God is just, if you let him write your story, he's just so amazing. So here I am in this cemetery, right? And my mentor used to say, the wealthiest place on earth, it's not the gold mines, it's not the oil fields, but it's the cemetery. Why? Because of all the things that never came to fruition out of the lives whose names are written on these headstones. The ones who were put in there after their energy and their spirit left. What books weren't written? What music wasn't made? What movies weren't made? What things to help cure these, diseases that plague? Who died? Who died yesterday or this morning? That was maybe the answer to this COVID crisis. Seriously, that's the way I think, and I think that's the way more of us need to think, and this is why I love this movie, Six Underground. If you were a billionaire, what change could you affect to the world? So basically, Ryan Reynolds is this tech billionaire, and he basically goes ghost, right? So because he sees all these, what happens is he basically sees these problems and issues in the world, and he's thinking he can help change it. He's got the money, he can help support and finance, right? Which that's the way the world works, right, guys? Right? Whatever You know, money has influence. Success brings influence. In the Old Testament, there's an account that tells us there was a man who was sitting outside the gates of a city that was burning. And he had the answer to resolving that crisis. But here's what happened. He didn't have influence. He didn't have influence. So he couldn't affect change. Billionaires, okay, and you can look at Bill and Melinda Gates, you can look at Oprah, and you can look at Warren Buffett, and you can think whatever you want to think and all these kinds of things. And I'm not here to talk politics. What I am here to talk is the fact that when you have money, because all of those people I just mentioned, you can change the world. You can affect change. So Ryan Reynolds does it in a way after trying to do it like right and proper and going to folk, and just it's like, screw this. So he goes ghost and he takes his billions underground, and he begins in a way, there's a pretty high body count in this movie, to affect some change. And at the end of the movie, it's so cool. It's like there's a revolution. There's a revolution. There's a revolution for change in you, in your idea. He was a techie. He had a tech idea, but is it in books? Is it in films? Is it in the medical field? Is it in the world of entertainment? Where is it? What is it? Because that gift, that thing, that I talked about it last week, that George Foreman grill is in you. Are you going to get it out? Are you going to dare to become the billionaire so that you can bring change, lasting, sustainable change to the world? Now, this is so amazing because here's why. Everybody's asking questions. Well, why this? Well, why this? Why is COVID a plague and all this? And my personal opinion, I don't think COVID's a plague. Here's what I think it is. I think that COVID is what happens when the law of God that says this exists. And that is, when the wicked rule, the people mourn, and when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, people mourn. When we have leadership at every level in society and in world systems that are wicked, we are going to cry because people are going to die. There are going to be unjust and unfair laws. There are going to be riots. There are going to be injustice. And that's just the truth. So you have a $1 billion tech idea or its equivalent in you. You do. You do. It's just the truth. And if you want to know more about that, you're going to want to join Martin Williams. Go over to YouTube, look up Martin Williams, like and subscribe, and every night or every Monday, he does what are called Monday Moments. Tonight, we're going to help answer the question, or if you've answered the question, help to learn how to manifest the reason why you're born. You got to know why you're born. You got to know why you exist. And so then, the other half of that law of the universe is when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. And this movie was so spot on. It was so spot on. Because it's just true. It's the converse statement to when the wicked rule, the people mourn, is when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When people of character and honor and integrity and who do the right thing are our leaders in systems, every system, the educational system, the world of sports, entertainment, media, politics, finance, all of it, the medical field, when righteous people rule, you don't have made up viruses and things that are put into the air to kill people or put into the blood systems of people, or, vaccines that are supposed to do one thing that are really doing another thing. And I'm not going to get into that because I have my own personal beliefs on it, but I will say this, we need more righteous and honorable people in the field of medicine. And who will stand for righteousness? Who will do the right thing? It's like another movie, Law Abiding Citizen, with Gerard Butler. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie, but it's the same concept. You've got an injustice system that is screwed. And so what he does is uses the system, right, to fix the system and draw attention to the system. We've got some bull crap stuff going on. People's lives are being affected. People's last breath. Families crying because of a knee on someone's neck. And the question is, and the 3 bodies that were on a man's body in addition to the knee on the neck. If you were a billionaire and you understood that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice, when you understood the kingdom of God suffers violence and the violence taken by force, when you understand that, when you become a warrior, when you become one who is like dead set on understanding that the thing that's in you isn't for you, it's for somebody else, and that if you were a billionaire, let's say you're a tech billionaire, what if you were Mark Cuban or, Bill Gates, or like what's in them is no different than what's in you. And I'll tell you, when I'm a billionaire, you best bet I'm going to be financing those agendas and moving to fix those systems that are filled with rape culture and racial injustice. That's the reason why I exist. White girl married to a black guy, gang raped at the age of 19. Now I'm 55 years old and I know who I am. And in between there, I done lost everything several times. Shoot. You can't touch me. You can't deter me. You can't detract me. I'm a dangerous woman. So I just got to go through this journey. And I'm thankful for movies like Six Underground with high body counts and everything else. I am. Because the way God communicates to me is through movies and music. So the question is, what could you do if you were a billionaire? I was originally going to stand at an elementary school because when we're children, try to take you back to that moment. When you're a child, what did you dream about? What did you think about? Do you know J.K. Rowling had all them Harry Potter books inside of her? And now she's a billionaire because she wrote books that were inside of her that I'm quite sure her family, friends, and people are like, are you crazy? You're going to make a book about a wizard? Who's laughing now? J.K. Rowling is, all the way to the bank. Now, I'm not saying I agree with J.K. Rowling on anything. All as I'm saying is, she's a billionaire. And if you study her, she has influence. So, why are you any different? If God says in his law that every human was created by him for a reason, he's the author and finisher. So that means your life is a book. It's been written. It's done. You just got to tap into it. Again, go to YouTube, look up Martin Williams, and join us tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've not answered the question or you've just started toying with the question, why are you here? Why were you born? You need to log on with him because he's starting a new series. I'll be there tonight online. Because this is some for real crap, guys. People, you watching right now, can help resolve the racial injustice that's going on. There was a shooting in North Carolina today. I just saw it come up my feed and I've got to research it and all that kind of stuff because I believe that every school shooting, every shooting at a disco, pub, bar, nightclub, just like anything that goes on that's contrary to the way life's supposed to be, the answer is in a human. And it happened because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Dr. Miles Monroe, my father, spiritual father, and my dad and my mentor used to say it. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. It is. These shootings, these knees on the neck, racial injustice, it's inevitable because it's abuse and it exists where purpose is not known. So you figure out your purpose. You begin then to become what you were created to be. You become the tech billionaire. And in the journey to becoming the billionaire, you begin to affect others who then discover their purpose. And little by little, the world begins to change and generations begin to change. It's how things work. It's how things work. What could you do? Because I'm going to tell you, there is something more tragic in life than death. I'm looking around in this in this graveyard, right? What went with them? Because they were the bird who was forced to function like a fish. And what were the knees on the neck in their generation? Some of these go back to 1800, 1700. What were the knees on the neck and the injustices in their generation that they were the answer to? Because injustice and oppression has been around from the beginning of time. So, it's just a quick question I wanted to ask tonight. Just a quick question. Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. And there is something more tragic in life than death. And that is a life without purpose. You best believe. You're talking to a gang rape victim, well, overcomer, but somebody who was out there as a result to a mindset of being someone who had been gang raped. You want to talk about something more tragic in life than death, but a life without purpose? Talk to me about when I first got gang raped. DM me and ask me questions about where was my mindset and the things that I did because I didn't understand that I was a queen and the value of who I am. I listened to the things that were said to me during my gang rape by my rapists. And in part because I didn't have any other knowledge to combat it. People do suffer from a lack of knowledge. That's why you need to join Martin Williams tonight. And you need to go through his YouTube channel. And you need to watch all his videos at least 7 times. And in the process, you need to go to Dr. Miles Monroe's videos. And you need to do the same. Because the suffering that's in your life is a result of something you don't know. And I'm here to tell you tonight that you're like the tech billionaire. You're the tech billionaire in 6 Underground. You were given an idea at a young age. You were given something that you see, that it haunts you. And maybe you self-medicate, and maybe you're an alcoholic, and maybe you're a drug addict, and maybe you're just out there tricking and all that kind of stuff. Because life has stolen from you through experiences that dream. But I promise you, you were created to be you were created to be that so that you can bring change to the world. And it's so cool because at the end of the movie, as a result of this revolution, your takeaway was like, oh, healing can begin, restoration can begin, things being put in right order can now begin, because the right person with the right mentality that wasn't an oppressor, a liar, a manipulator, and one who threatened and killed and murdered was now in place. And so, watch the movie. Watch the movie. Law Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler is a good one too. But I'm specifically talking about 6 Underground and the tech billionaire idea that's inside you, that was given to you to accomplish here in the earth so that you would have good success, so that you could bring change, so we can end stuff like rape culture in every one of the mountains and world systems, and racial injustice and knees on the neck that exist in every system and mountain on the earth. All right, so love you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Okay, dare to become. And it's almost time. In about 18 minutes, join me over on the Martin Williams YouTube page. Okay, begin to answer the question in this new series, Why You Were Born. If you don't know, you're going to be able to answer these questions. You'll be given tools to answer the questions. And then if you've answered the question, I'm sure you'll be given tools as to how to manifest the reason why you were born. So I love you. Y'all have a great night. See ya. Bye.